everybody. Welcome to the first video of the series Choco's Fan Artist Interviews. I'm Choco, and today we are here with the very prominent Irroi Arts from America. He has done many different kinds of GA fan arts and has made some merchandise like his playmat, Diana playmat, and I believe you've got Merlin sleeves. Is that correct?
Um, yes, I have a few. I guess I have a bit of merch that hasn't really been distributed that much. It's sort of just been a local thing that I've passed out whenever I had the chance to table. But I've done a bit of Merlin. I have my own custom sleeves for that, and created a Diana playmat. So you're correct. I wouldn't. Sorry, excuse me. I don't really know about prominent artists though. I'm just a small indie, small humble artist trying to get by. So if anybody knows me in this community, I'm glad that you've at least checked out my stuff. But I think just putting out artwork of what I enjoy.
Yes. And so, for those of you who may not know Iroi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, okay. So I guess I went through a little small tidbit about myself already, but for those who don't know me, I'm Irroi Arts. Nice to meet you. Um, I mostly dabble in a little bit of anime art, which I occasionally post on social media. Before sort of drawing fan arts for Grand Archive, I did a lot of fan arts for other fandoms like Hololive. Um, and then got into Grand Archive, played a ton of it, got addicted, did created several different fan arts, and then sort of circled back to Hololive at the moment, but currently working on a GA piece, which is pretty exciting. So hopefully that will see the light of day sometime soon. But yeah, that's it. I'm just a guy that draws anime on the internet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. That's very exciting to hear you're cooking something. Something's in the works, so we can't wait to see and hear about what it is. And so, to help break the ice a little bit, I was wondering if you would be happy to play a game of two truths and one lie. And in case you guys don't know how this game works, Iroi will present three statements, two of which will be a truth and one will be a lie. And I believe he has some prepared, so take the floor.
Hmm. Two truths and one lie, huh? I think one thing that I'm ashamed to say is that I did partake in a little bit of a scandal during my college years. I was a, I guess, not really, I guess I was kind of like an amateur League of Legends player, and I sort of participated in local college tournaments. I actually got in trouble one time because I was playing against one of my friends' teams, and we sort of had a little bit of an arrangement. I mean, this is like commonplace in Grand Archive to sort of sometimes do intentional ties and stuff, or you know, negotiate the results. But in League of Legends, or at least with the tournament I participated in, you're not really supposed to negotiate anything, just play out the match. So we got into a little bit of trouble because he needed a win in order to sort of make it to the next stage of the tournament. And my team wasn't like doing that well, so we were guaranteed to drop out anyways. I actually threw my lane, and if you've never played League of Legends before, a lane is basically like basically an area of the map where you face off against the opponent and you're sort of like isolated against everyone else. So I was facing him. I threw the game in his favor. People found out about it, and I got into trouble for match fixing back in college. I guess that's one thing that might be a truth or a lie. Another thing is that I was actually a very high ranked rhythm game player a couple of years ago. Actually, this is not actually that long ago. In 2019, I was a top 50 Osu Taiko player. Osu Taiko, or for those of you who don't know Osu is like an online rhythm game. And the standard mode has the players clicking on circles um, according to the beat on the screen, but Taiko is like a sub mode of the Osu game where it's a PC port of the Taiko no Tatsujin game. And I was really, really good at that. I could play entire maps, I could play entire levels at faster than 240 beats per minute without seeing the notes half the time. So I was pretty proficient at that sort of modification to the difficulty. And that's how I got into the top 50 at one point, or at least top 50 on the country ladder. So top 50 in Canada, where I lived. The third thing is, I have to think for this one.
Now I don't know if you're telling this one has to be a lie if you're thinking so much. Or is it a truth? I don't know. Well, while you're thinking, I'm gonna verbalize what I think so far of the other two statements. So the first one
Okay.
is that you win traded. Do you seem like the type of person who would honestly, because you're doing it for your friend? Like I feel like that's a possibility.
It's a very noble cause.
Yes,
Very
it's
noble
a very
cause
noble
indeed.
cause. Um, Interesting. And then the second one is Tycho being in the top 50 in Canada in 2019. I feel like
Hmm.
you need to have good hand-eye coordination for that. So, given that you are also a digital illustrator, I do feel that that could be possible. So now,
Ooh, hand-eye coordination? I don't even know if my hand-eye coordination is good for my artwork. My my lines are so bad, honestly, but I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think there's a correlation, at least.
there has to be.
Okay, I've thought of the third story,
Mhm.
which may be a truth or a lie. I've actually directed and created artwork for a music video. That was a song cover of one of my favorite visual novel songs. I used to be really big into sort of a bunch of visual novels. For those of you who don't know what visual novels are, um, it's basically a book, but on the computer, and there are images of anime characters. As you click through the screen, the text progresses and shows you a different line of dialogue. So the opening song for one of my favorite visual novels, I directed and illustrated and storyboarded an entire music video cover.
For some reason, I don't know. They all strike to me as could be true. But I think I will go with maybe the directing as the lie because it took you a while to come up with that one.
Wait,
So,
what?
well, you were
Directing's a lie. You don't think I'm a director? You don't think I can be a creative lead to create entire music video? You think that was the lie? You
like,
think you think the truth is that I'm a match fixer?
yes, yep,
Oh my
100%.
goodness.
That's exactly what I think. Uh huh.
Oh my goodness, guys. She thinks I'm a cheater.
I,
What's going
I
on?
think he's a dishonest individual.
Dishonest person. I throw my lane. The truth is I'm just bad at League of Legends. Why won't anybody believe me? Why won't anyone believe that I didn't intentionally go 0-10 that one time I was playing Yasuo?
So, yeah, I'm gonna lock that one in. Just cause. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Well, the truth is that was a lie. Actually, I'm a very honest person, and honest in the sense that I would never match fix because I'm just not good enough to participate in those tournaments in the first place. So I would never be able to do that to begin with.
Oh.
I think I like peaked low plat in League of Legends, and I was bronze for the other like the entire other time I was playing the game. So I don't think I would have ever participated in an amateur tournament. I actually did in high school, but it was a
Oh.
very it was like an in-house thing. So it's not anything that is like at a collegiate level or any level where you actually have to be good at the game at. So um, yeah, the truth is, I'm an honest player. I'm just honestly bad at League of Legends. I can't match fix. I'm just not good enough to even have the privilege to do that. And that's how I stay dirt free.
Dirt free. Keep your name nice and clean.
And the
Oh.
truth is, I have directed a music video,
Mm.
the song cover of a visual novel song that I really like. Won't spare too much of the details, but if you want to search it up or if anyone's like randomly interested, it's Kiss no Hitotsude, and it's sung by one of my friends, who is a singer who also covers a lot of anime songs, Chisana. And it came out to be a very, very good video. So that was one of the things that I was really proud of. It actually took 2 years,
Oh,
mostly
really?
because, yes, mostly because it was a very difficult project that I just procrastinated a lot on. So that was it.
Oh, it do be like that sometimes. I see. So that also means that you were also in the top 50 in the Osu Taiko. Wow.
Yes. No surprise there.
Congratulations. Big
I'm a
big
god
hit.
artist, also a god rhythm gamer. The hand-eye coordination definitely correlates. It's just, what can I say? It's just a born gift, God-given gift, you know.
God
I'm just
given
so good at these
gift.
things.
Well, it's good to know you're putting your talents
Yeah,
to
yeah.
good use. Leading on from that, coming on from the rhythm games, uh, what do you use to actually draw on your, like, what do you use to draw? Do you use like a screen tablet or do you use the one without the screen? Or like, how do you draw stuff?
So, this is my opinion, but I do not like screen tablets at all for two main reasons. One, it hurts my back every single time I use a screen tablet because screen tablets usually just come with like a stand that you put on the table, and unless you actually install like a mount to move it higher, you would have to like bend down in order to look at the screen and draw.
Mm.
And so that whole entire process, even though, you know, like it's just, I guess, the same posture you take while you write something, um, I'm getting up in the years, like it's starting to actually, like it hurts my back a lot to be in that posture like all day. And the benefit, or what I use, what I prefer is just a non-screen tablet that I can put on the table and I can just look up at my monitor, like a normal human being, you know, at like an almost upright angle,
Mm.
so I don't have to hurt my back. That's what I prefer. So that's the one thing. That's the one reason why I don't use the screen tablet. The second
Mm.
reason is I know this is like what usually happens when you do traditional art, but I can't really stand my hand being in the way of the screen when I try and draw. I think it's like really annoying because I always want to like zoom in and out, check um, like the spacing of different
Mm.
things in my compositions, and it's really hard to do constantly when your hands like in the way. And I think this is like a purely digital sort of habit, but I sort of use a lot of shortcuts. I zoom in and out a lot. These are things that you obviously can't do when you're doing traditional arts, and maybe
Mm.
that's not as much of a concern. That's why people don't really care that their hands in
Mm.
the way when they're just like drawing on paper. But
Mm.
for me, it's really important that my eyes are like there are no obstacles in the way of my eyes and the screen, and that I can see
Mm.
like everything as I'm trying to manipulate things on the screen. So I just prefer having a non-screen tablet.
Oh, I see. So that's
Yeah.
where the the hand-eye coordination is real, because for everyone who doesn't know, in a non-display tablet with a screen like this, all you have is you have a it's like a little slab kind of. and then you like hook it up to the
Mm.
computer, and then you have your pen, and you're like drawing like while looking at the screen rather than the screen being on here. And so it
Yep.
definitely is like a whole new skill set. I feel like to be able to do, but it's quite easy to pick up. I do think so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I think it
very.
comes down to
Mm,
preference. I think it's not too hard to pick up the hand-eye coordination to
mm,
not look at the to not put your hand on the same area that you draw. But
mm,
to a lot of people, they do prefer the screen tablets because they might come from traditional art where they're used to drawing pencil on paper, and
yeah,
the skills transition more easily if they can like see the screen.
yeah. So very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Um,
Mm.
so now while we're on the topic of you and creating stuff, uh, I would like to ask about the origin of your username.
Oh, okay. Well, there's not really any deep stories. So the origin of Irroi, well, the I stands for ingenuity. The R stands for resolve. There's two R's because that's how great my resolve is. I have twice the resolve of a normal person. That's why there's two R's: resolve and resolution. Um, but actually, no. Okay, I'll admit this is the truth between you and me. I actually just randomized my names. So the way Irroi came about, this is the origin story. Okay, you know, like Spider-Man, he got bit by like a radioactive spider. The Hulk, he got mutated. Like, there's some interesting story behind everything. I'm just a lame guy, guys. I entered my name into a random name generator, 5 random letters. Irroi was the first thing that came out that sounded like a name. That's the origin story. Okay, just erase that from your mind. You didn't hear it. I'm sure there's some grand purpose behind my name. If you don't look into the details, you'll just have to make up that story yourself, I guess. The origin story of Iroi.
Right. Wow. That reminds me of, you know, how like when you're on Twitter and sometimes you find like a really good fan artist or like an artist, and then you look at their username
Yes.
handle and it's like a bunch of random numbers and letters just strung together. Gives me
Yes.
that kind of vibes. That's how you know you like made it. You're like god
Yeah.
artist.
I mean, some people are lazy, including me. I'm like, I just could not be creative. I'm like terrible at naming things. I can draw anything that I can draw lots of things. I can be creative while I'm putting together compositions. But like the moment I have to name my drawing, I just blank out. It's like if you see my like illustrations, they're just normally character illustrations, and then like the name would literally be like Merlin or like Diana Duststalker, like the actual name of the champion. Because I can't come up with names at all. Okay, I'm a show not tell type of guy. I'm a
A show not.
show not tell type guy.
I see, I see.
Exactly.
So then moving on, speaking of like all your GA fan arts and stuff, does that mean like, you know, what got you into drawing Grand Archive fan art and even
Ooh.
playing Grand
Okay.
Archive? Yeah.
Okay. So what got me into drawing is obviously I got into playing Grand Archive to begin with, and it happened, I think, during an outing with some of my friends. Some of you in the community might know them. They run a podcast called Talk GA. It's Fome and Eva from Talk GA, and they were actually streaming the final match of the SoCal regional, Southern California regionals that was happening at the time. And that sort of got me interested in Grand Archive because I saw the aesthetics of the game. It looked really good. I thought the artwork was like really, really pretty. And then they mentioned that the company was actually based in America. And I was like, whoa, that's actually something that is kind of unheard of because um, most of the time when there's an anime TCG, they're based in Asia. Like
Yeah.
this is the first time that I've heard about a headquarters being somewhere, like the developers actually being located in America in Texas.
Mm.
So that got me pretty interested, and I went to check out my locals. When I went there, a lot of actually knew a lot of the people already that went to my locals. So from like prior engagements, and I just sort of got really hooked into it from there. It helps that it's also a really, really good game. I think the developers made it super fun to play. Um, and ever since then, I've been inspired to like draw fan art of just like the characters that I really liked. And that's how I got into drawing Grand Archive fan art.
Woo! What a nice and inspiring story. uh, so, do you have like a favorite champion?
Ooh, favorite champion. Okay. So we are now currently in MRC. I'll be honest, I was not a Tristan fan before her makeover, but MRC changed me. Okay, Tristan, I don't know what they did to her. Her makeup's completely changed. She's
Mm,
got like an entirely new outfit, but she is currently my favorite character. I really love her aesthetics,
mm,
everything, looks, like gameplay, like element. I think she's cool as hell. She looks beautiful.
mm.
My number one waifu. I don't know. I gotta give it to Tristan at this point.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, I usually go for like kind of the more, I guess, like antagonistic female characters. I really liked Merlin before Tristan, so I guess we're just continuing that trend.
Every time Weebs releases a new like villain-esque type of waifu, you're
Hmm.
like, get me in on that.
Um, she's so evil, but that makes it even better. Oh
That's
my
hot. Oh my
goodness.
god.
That's so hot.
Ah, so does that mean
She's crazy, but it's okay. I'm okay with it.
you're
I can
okay with
fix her,
that?
guys. I can fix her.
Oh. So does that mean Tristan is your favorite deck to play at the moment?
um, well, a bit embarrassing to say, but I actually have not been playing too much Grand Archive ever since the beginning of MRC because I've been really focused, like nose deep into artwork.
Mm,
So this is mostly coming from an aesthetics point of view, but I
mm,
do know that she has been topping a lot of events,
mm.
and she seems to be a very powerful woman in the current meta. So um, I would say in that sense,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
she's my favorite. I mean, not. I guess like the deck that I actually enjoyed playing prior to MRC is Fire Aggro Xander. So maybe
Oh,
more along the lines of that would be my
okay.
favorite deck. I enjoy decks that don't take a lot of time to play because I had this problem with Rye where my turns would take so long that I would look at my opponent's face and then the life would just drain out of them. And because and every single time that happens, I just feel so horrible.
Oh
And it
no.
even feels really bad for me to play out those matches because I
Mm.
can't do math. And when you can't do math as a Rye, your turns
Oh.
just take an infinite amount of time because you can't find the lethal. So I resolved myself to just playing the fastest deck possible. That was Fire Aggro Xander. Whether I win or lose, hey, at least the match is over, and at least we can move on. So
That's
that's
true.
kind of that's kind of why I like playing this deck.
I see.
It's fast, it's fun. My opponents don't have to like wait for me to play my fourth peaceful reunion. You know, it's all good. Life is good.
Life is good. Overall, everybody's happier. Thank you so much for sharing as well, by the way. But you mentioned that
Mm.
you don't really play that much Grand Archive anymore, but you're
Yeah, I'm a
obviously
fake
still.
gamer. I'm a fake gamer.
So that means obviously, but you're still keeping up to date with the news and the new champions and the new set. I'm guessing just like the art and stuff from the art
Mm-hmm.
creative side of things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have you besides like making playmats and sleeves and prints, I think, for Grand Archive. Is there any other kind of like content creation you want to try for GA on, or not really? You're happy with just
Mm.
drawing and
For GA.
yeah, or for GA and
Mm.
even in general as well.
So in the future, I really want to get into streaming,
Mm,
but I think currently I am mainly focused on just creating artwork.
yeah.
Um, but in the future, I would really like to stream my artwork. I think there is the added difficulty when you're streaming of having to talk constantly
Yeah.
while you're doing something. I mean, technically, you don't have to do it while you draw, but I feel like I'd like to yap, and maybe um, maybe it could be a little hard for me to think or to yap for like a really long time, like hours at a time.
Mm.
So I think but that is something that I would really want to try.
Yeah.
I just have to get the proper setup for it because I think with streaming, you do have to make sure like everything is set up to have a good streaming experience for the viewer. But one day, I think when I feel like I'm satisfied with where my illustrations are at, I'd like to try streaming a little bit to
Hmm.
just interact with people that happen to see my artwork. I think it would be very fun.
That would be good. There's a future up and coming streamer in the chat right now, guys. So keep your eyes peeled for Irroi on twitch.tv or something.
No, guys, I don't know about that. Might you're putting too much pressure on me. I might not be ready for that big jump yet.
Slowly, baby steps. You'll get there one day. Don't forget about us when you're famous. Okay, moving on. The next question is, what
Yes.
inspires you to create? Is it like you see a
Okay.
pretty girl
I
and you're
see.
like, I want to draw that? Or is it like, yeah, how does your creative
Hmm.
process work?
Okay. Um. So this has actually changed a lot as I've matured as an artist.
Mm.
There's At the very beginning, what inspired me was mostly seeing my friends' reactions when I got into making anime artwork. I think it was just really cool being able to draw and being able to draw like characters that my friends really liked.
Mm.
Um, so I would just like draw their favorite character.
Hmm.
One time it was a character from an anime called Steins Gate, and then my friend had like really positive feedback for that. He was like, "Wow, that looks just like her. That's so cool." And I think sort of being able to draw these characters and sort of show it off and get like this really nice feedback, make people happy. Like I think that was my inspiration that
Hmm.
got me into um, illustration to begin with. As
Oh.
I sort of went along, I think like a lot of things changed. Like my motivation changed from like really liking improving. Like I'm making a lot of progress with how my drawings are getting better and better. That's really motivating. To like maybe I want to create something that looks beautiful. Like maybe I want to express my own sense of aesthetics, and that was my motivation. And so things keep flip flopping, but I think currently, um, I think what inspires me. Hmm,
It's a hard one. It's a deep question.
yeah, it might just be like I think my artwork is starting to get to the point where I'm sort of trying to reach the I guess the next tier of where I'm at, just trying to go into sort of like the professional tier. It's hard to define where that's at exactly because I think everyone has a different definition of what it means to be a pro. But for me, it really means making my artwork something that pushing my artwork to the level where it becomes commercially valuable or where it becomes marketable enough so
Mm.
that the fan base or like a large portion of the fan base can enjoy it very easily. And I think what's been inspiring me is like finding the answers to make that possible. Every single day, I think, um, okay, so in order to sort of reach that level, I have to level up the marketing of my artwork, basically finding a way to apply my skills in a way that is able to be consumable by people in like a fan base. And every single day, I'm finding like new answers for what it means to be a good marketer or what it means to be good at like social media.
Mm.
Um, like sort of experimenting and trial and error and sort of um, testing and finding what works, what doesn't work. I think all of that has been really exhilarating and has
Oh.
been really inspiring. Um, like a lot of the things that I've created recently.
Mm.
So um, I think it might be like a little atypical of an answer. This is just what inspires me at my current stage of
Mm.
my growth as an artist. But it's really been sort of like the interplay between the creator and the audience and sort of that feedback cycle of showing them something based on what I like and what I think they like and getting the feedback
Mm.
um, and getting their reaction to it and then sort of like absorbing that feedback to make my artwork more accessible the next
Mm.
time. I think that interplay has been really fun, really um, rewarding, and inspires a lot of my artwork.
Ah, I see. It's a bit atypical because I feel like most people expect artists to be like, oh, I get inspired by nature or like, waifus or husbandos or something. But yours
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
very based on like improvement and trying to be the best
Mm,
version of just like what you
yeah.
can
I
do.
guess
Mm.
yeah, it depends on how you or how you define inspiration. To me, it's
Mm.
really what is able to get me to go to the computer and like create artwork and just sit there for like 8 hours a day, just scribbling some lines. And
Yeah.
that really has been like that really has been the thing that has really pushed me to keep progressing. It's that curiosity
Mm.
of how to reach the next level, how to improve my marketing.
Yes, of course. And of course, for everybody, there's no right or wrong answer in terms of inspiration. This just comes to show that everybody's inspired by different things. So, guys, if you want to create fan art or get into drawing and illustrating, feel free. Anything can inspire you. And we would like to see more Grand Archive fan art in the community. Yeah. So
Hmm.
thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind us asking you if you are willing or happy to share, a bit of your workflow, like your process. For
Oh.
example, when your the Sylvie slime fan art piece that you did, that's your most recent GA one that's been published, I believe. Hi guys, welcome back. We are now set up with the screen share with Irroi, and now he is going to walk us through how he has created his very cute Sylvie fan art piece. Take it away.
All right. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my workflow. This is the initial sketch for Sylvie Slime Sovereign. And when I start off sketching, usually I like to just sort of look through some reference photos for kind of the an impression that I would like to create. And for this piece, I want to make something that was really cute um, because I had this image of a lot of slimes just sort of like cuddling with Sylvie, and I want to find some drawings that would sort of help me, inspire me in order to create that feeling. So I put together a collage of images from an artist I've been following on Pixiv. Their name is Sencha, and they create these really, really cute um, illustrations with lots of decorations of these girl characters. So um, looking at this image board, I sort of put together my sketch. I sort of cross-reference with some of these photos as I draw, and you can see the rough sketch that I created here. Also, look at the design of the character just to make sure that everything is on model. But this is the initial sketch. Just it's done to get an overall impression of where I would like to place everything. And then following the initial sketch, I move on to doing the color rough. So this is um, basically a very rough painting that I don't put a lot of detail in, just so I understand what the overall color palette I'm going to use is and how the lighting interacts with the character and and the character's surroundings. So you can see here I've filled in a pretty much every single area except for the background. I've colored in very roughly her hair, skin, clothing, and I textured the slimes a little bit just to understand the colors that I'm going to be using moving in to later stages of the drawing. So after the color rough, I like to make sure that the lines are very well um, that the lines are very clear. For anime illustrations, at least the style that I like to use, um, I really like this extra step of creating a separate layer. For those of you who haven't used a drawing software before, it's basically just um, like another it's like another level, um, or it's like another. How do I explain this without using the word layer again? It's like an, um,
um,
it's like a. It goes on top. Um, a layer is basically like something that you can paint of on that goes on top of previous layers that are underneath it. So this way you can sort of separate out your concerns in your drawings. And for me, I really like separating out the lines, drawing the lines in its own separate layer. So that just all goes on top of my painting, all the colors that I put underneath. And for this anime style of illustration, I really enjoy sort of making those lines really clear. I know some other artists prefer sort of just like making it more akin to traditional artwork, and sometimes they won't really paint in the lines. They just sort of create um, the impressions of a line using like paint strokes and stuff. But I think I prefer doing it this way. And moving on from the line stage, we get into um, the final stages of the illustration. This is showing the complete illustration, but I'm going to turn off a few things just so we can see how this is all broken down. Um, so up here, we can see that I've taken the line layer that I had from the previous step, and I've just put this on top of the character. And I'm sort of toggling this on and off right now so we can see how that looks like. And as I move into later stages of the drawing, um, I paint on top of what. Ooh, sorry, the software is just lagging a little bit. Um, I make sure to separate everything according to how I planned the rough colors in the previous step. And I make sure to paint only within the boundaries that I set up before with the color rough and properly render it so all the lighting, all the shadows, all the details are in. And I do this with every single part of the character. So you can see here, I've separated out the skin, the hair, and her clothing and the slimes into separate layers. And I do that for basically every part that's a different color for the painting. And I fully render it. Rendering is just, I guess, a fancy term to describe adding in all the details and making sure that the drawing looks complete or finalized.
yeah.
So that is the entire process for Sylvie Slime Sovereign. And I hope that gave you some insight into how, I guess, an average workflow goes for these sort of
Mm.
anime style illustrations.
So I guess as like a TLDR in like let's say 5 steps, the first one would be creating or like going to like inspiration boards and creating a sketch, and then the next one would be doing a color rough, which is just where Irroi will plan out the colors that he plans to use and check everything looks right. The mood is like all good, what he wants. And then he will go on to his line art stage where we learnt about the concept of layers. Um, I say layers is just like building blocks. So like if you draw on one layer and then you draw on the layer below it, it won't like interfere if you want to erase stuff. So it just makes it really easy to control and I guess keep your work nice and neat and yeah. And then moving on after that is your
Yes.
rendering stage, which is like the coloring, putting it all together, the details, and you also put in the background as well in the rendering stage. Yep. So yeah, how many layers in total did you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Way too many. Actually, so there's a layer for every single portion that has like a different color, and sometimes things are more complex, like the eyes
Mm,
that have like multiple different elements, like the highlights and
mm.
some of the reflected light. So there's a lot. I'm looking at the numbers right now. They go up to 72. So I guess it's how much. How
Wow.
many layers are there? There's 72 layers in this illustration. And sorry for my drawn out explanation. I think Choco did a much better job explaining layers than I did.
It's just good to have both the in-depth and then the TLDR at the end. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is also in a software called Clip Studio Paint, which I believe is a one-time purchase from the store, from Clip Studio Paint itself, and it's on the PC. For those who are thinking of maybe being interested in getting into fan art, Clip Studio Paint is available on the iPad as well, but it is on like a monthly subscription rather than a one-off payment, like the PC. But that's fine because you can sync between devices and stuff. It's really handy. But also, if you're looking for a bit of another once-off payment, like Procreate is another good iPad alternative. Or if you're on PC, there's software called Critter, which is like kind of like CSP, Clip Studio Paint, or like Photoshop-ish, and it's
Hmm.
completely free. And you can,
See, open source Photoshop, basically, or open soft painting software.
there you go. So don't be afraid to start creating, guys. I feel like it's good. We have these talks
Mm,
because we want to encourage more people to
yeah.
start creating. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Clip Studio Paint
Oh no.
to for this ad, but it is a very solid software, and a lot of anime artists also use the software
Yes.
as their software of choice to create illustrations.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your creative process with us. It's very interesting to find out. And so now I was wondering if we could borrow some of your creative brain cells and maybe we could draw something together, maybe like a grand archive related thing. How would you feel about that?
Ooh, sounds like a good idea.
Hmm.
Let's get cracking.
Yeah, so we will be using a software called Magma. It's like a website online that's completely free and it's got a lot of tools which are very similar to like what Clip Studio Paint has. It's got your layers and all that kind of stuff. And it's completely free as well, so you can collaborate with your friends and you can draw together. Cool. Okay, hi everybody, welcome back. So actually, this video is has actually been re-recorded. We've re-recorded this interview because in the first one, it was actually my first video that I'd ever done or made, and the audio quality was really bad, and so we just had to redo the everything. So we actually made something together, and it was actually Irroi's idea. So would you like to walk us through what we have created?
Whoa, my idea? You see, you think this like crazy evil Sylvie catapult idea was what I thought of? Oh my goodness. Accusing me of thinking Sylvie is an evil character. But yes, that was actually the concept that was on our minds when we were making this series of drawings. So, for those of you who don't know, Sylvie is secretly the primary antagonist of Grand Archive. And if you pay attention, Sylvie is actually an anagram. Anagram being that if you scramble the letters in her name, it becomes is evil. So our idea was that Sylvie was actually plotting to take over the Grand Archive using her newfound slime powers. And if you look at this drawing, you can see her sort of evil aura sort of leaking out, plotting to launch a catapult with all of these slimes at some unsuspecting champion. And we had we had a few different ideas for the slimes that she could use in her slime catapult. Slime catapult being I guess, more of like a community thought of idea for a tamer gun that you could load slimes into because there was like some discussion in the community that the load mechanic is actually not really specific to bullets. You can technically just like load anything that has load, um, that has like the I guess the load activation on the card, and then I guess the idea was that you could like load a slime into something or something into the slime. So um, we had an idea that you could load, like, for example, a fire slime, which we called like the bomb, and like this slime, when you launch it, would like explode and deal a lot of damage. Have like the spike ike, it's like the spiky slime that if it gets launched at something, maybe it suppresses them, sort of like a zephyr type of slime. And icy, I forget what the idea was for that. I think maybe it rests
I
them
think
when
so,
like
yeah.
yeah. Like if it hits anything, it rests it. If it hits a champion, they're just like out cold. So we have all these different slimes that are sort of like getting loaded into the catapult. The Slime King sort of like chilling there. Sylvie plotting to launch, and then because Sylvie is evil, she actually has a hidden Umbra element, and when she launches the slime at the unfortunate victim, she curses them. So that's why we have the voodoo slime in the top left corner. This is a slime curse. It's a curse and it's a slime that gets put under the champion's lineage. And I don't know what this does. I guess like maybe it hurts them. Maybe it like I don't know, lowers one of their stats.
Yeah.
It's a negative effect that caused by Sylvie's evilness.
Yes. And we thought that because Sylvie was so cute, it wouldn't matter because people would still follow her and still be her fan. So that's how she could get away with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the most unsuspecting person. You would not expect Sylvie to be evil at all.
Not at all. So true. So yeah, that was basically the result of our like 3 hour session where we were just chilling and talking and brainstorming stuff. I actually think we spent the most time trying to decide on names for the slimes. We
Yes.
evidently are not good namers, but we are we our
Bomb Bomb
strengths
is
are
like the sickest name. What do you mean? Spike Ike? Man, that goes hard. That goes. I'm sorry. Icy. Who would have thought to repeat the same word twice?
twice. It's so
Ingenious
true.
idea.
No, as in like as in it took us a long time, but we came up with good names. So maybe it's we get there, but it's not one of our strengths. There we go.
Mm. We're show not tell
Yeah.
people.
Show not tell. So yeah, that's the result. And so now we will move on to creating something new for this video. What were we thinking for this one this time?
Ooh, so I'm a very big fan of contrast when it
Mm,
comes to artwork.
mm.
Basically, the more surprised you can make the audience, the more interesting a drawing becomes. So I was thinking, what if we turned a character's personality into the opposite
Oh,
personality? Instead of having like maybe an evil, domineering Tristan, maybe we have like a cute Tristan. Maybe she like lost her memories and she is now, I don't know, like maybe wearing a dress or something
that's
that
cute.
you would not typically consider Tristan to do. Um, and maybe instead of the regular, like cute, adorable Sylvie, I mean, we know she's like secretly evil underneath, but what if we made like a goth, like evil Sylvie, evil
Oh,
version? She's wearing like a goth outfit.
that'd be cute. Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. Oh. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are now on the Magma drawing software. And now we will be doing the alternate personalities, the opposite personalities, and I will be doing the goth Sylvie. And Irroi will be
And
doing the cute Tristan as a
yes, the kawaii Tristan, Moe Tristan,
Moe
as they
Tristan.
call her. Alternate outfit.
Hmm. Okay, so let us begin. Go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We have now completed our pieces. And Iroi, would you like to explain the concept behind it all?
Sure. So, uh, hold on, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling up the canvas. So we thought that it might be a cool idea to sort of go with opposites because I think contrast in art is always a very nice way to create interest. And in order to create differences, we thought that we might turn Tristan and Sylvie's personalities to the opposite. So, you know how, like, usually Tristan is very domineering, very daring. Maybe we reinterpret Tristan as and put her into like maybe like a girly dress, and then maybe Sylvie can be wearing something that is like opposite to what she normally is, like a cute, friendly character. Maybe we put her in something more, I guess, mischievous. So I guess I can start off by explaining my art piece first.
Take the
Um,
floor.
I ended up drawing Tristan in a bridal dress. This is Bride Tristan, CSR, coming to a future ascent. Um, and this is a spoiler for when Tristan confesses her love to insert name kun, which is going to be you in this story. The final scene where she's accepting your bouquet and accepting your hand in marriage, she goes, "Stop looking. This is so Hazukashi," and it's like opposite from what Tristan normally is, because we know her as the confident, cunning, and daring assassin lady that you wouldn't even be able to look straight in the eye without being intimidated. But here, he's the one that's avoiding the gaze. He's going, "Hazukashi desu," and she's wearing like a bridal dress, being all shy, embarrassed, and she's looking very pretty, opposite to how Tristan is, just a little more, I guess, assassin-like.
Ladylike?
Yeah. Maybe ladylike, mature
Yeah.
type of vibe.
Yeah.
So I'll pass it over to you, Choco. Do you
Yeah.
want to explain what you drew?
Yeah. Just as a side note, I like the little red accessories that you've given Tristan. It looks very, very, very
Oh, thank
nice.
you very
Yeah.
much.
It's a nice touch to it all. But as for me, we thought the inverse of Sylvie normally was like goth, emo, a bit of a prankster, maybe a bit of a trickster, a bit evil, and it was a bit of a hard concept for me personally because I don't really do like I like to do cute, happy, colorful stuff. So when I was doing this, I thought, oh, maybe like goth lolly kind of came to mind because I
Okay.
actually have more exposure to that than I do like I think traditional, maybe more emo styles. So I did try to go for like the goth lolly kind of vibes with like lots of like ribbons and stuff. So it's like kind of cute, but Sylvie's always cute, so that's okay. So we had like I'll tell you about the features. So we have Voodoo, which is the poison slime, the Umbra slime that we made last time, and she's like holding him, like ready to like throw him at you and melt your face off. We have also lots of features with the piercings on her ears, the skull hair clip, and lots of like chains and like straps and such. Because I was as I was looking at the references, these were very common themes that would come up, and I thought it would be cute if I just put them in there. And so that's what I did. There wasn't much thought, not much backstory behind it, unlike Iroi here, who knew exactly what he was gonna do. He had the story in mind. I was just like, I want to make something
I'm
goth
just
and cute. Yeah.
I'm just narrating the fanfic that came to my dream. One day, my dream of marrying Tristan. But I think yours is definitely super like decorative. There's all these very interesting um, there's all these really interesting like ribbons, decorations all around her dress. It looks really, really nice. And I think it's a pretty interesting take on Sylvie. It's almost like a rebellious Sylvie,
Yeah.
like Sylvie if she grew up in a tough household type of situation, and she
Yeah.
had to, yeah, yeah, and she had to like kind of be strong, like be independent. Could
Mm,
imagine her wearing this sort of fit.
that's true.
That she, yeah, yeah, she would be the dommy mommy in the situation. Tristan's more of like the she's retired from that role. She's
That-
moved on.
that's right. She's over it now. So yeah,
Yes.
it was a very fun, I think, fun thing to do. Like it's like it certainly challenged me because it's something I definitely do not do normally. But I had a lot of fun with it, and we've been really going on like the evil Sylvie tangent recently. Yeah,
Mm, yes,
yeah.
yes. She will melt your face off. Sylvie is evil. Check it again. The anagram. Rearrange the letters. Listen, I didn't put this into the game. This is how it is. This is a hidden backstory.
This is what the devs are trying to tell us secretly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen was the good person all along. She just wants to be a bride. Sylvie was the real evil character.
Exactly. And then actually Sylvie's working for the Obliviate and Tristan's the undercover agent.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Exactly. Hmm.
Thank you so much for I guess doing this with me, and I hope that the speed paint we will speed up for you guys to watch. You'll get to see how both of us have kind of different ways of drawing things, and I hope that it shows you that there's no right or wrong way to draw and create new things. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed tuning into the artwork, commentary about artwork, and learning a little bit about me. Hopefully, I was an entertaining, interesting guest.
You don't know where.
If not, hopefully you like the artwork at the end. And if you have an interest in drawing, I hope you pursue it. I think it is a very worthy cause, a very fun thing to spend your time doing, and there's lots to learn, lots to create. It's always fun um, facing the challenges and learning bit by bit how to draw everything and making your dreams come true so you can draw your dream wife like I drew my dream wife, Bride Tristan, right here. So,
Don't let your
yes,
dreams
thank
just
you.
be memes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You too can have Tristan say this to you if you learn how to draw. But, anyways, yeah, thank you for tuning in.
No, thanks for being a wonderful guest. And Irroi, I have prepared a little surprise for you. You have two
Oh,
choices. We're gonna
okay.
play either Truth or Dare. We're either
Mm,
gonna play. Hang on. We're gonna play either Truth or Dare or Would You Rather. And I have prepared something for both of them. So, what do you feel like doing?
mm. Well, you see, truth or dare? Dare. I feel like, I'm an old guy. I'm getting up in the years. Maybe daring is not for me anymore. I can't take too many risks. So I feel like maybe we would go would you rather
Would
as
you
a
rather? That sounds
yes,
good.
as a
All right.
safe option.
Let me get the questions up. Um, how long did that drawing take us in total? I think, as an estimate, do you think?
Um it was like 2 days of work, and I think we started like I want to say like 4 hours ago with break time.
Hmm.
That was just today. The day before, maybe like another like 2 hours.
Was it two
So maybe
hours?
like yeah, but that's with a lot of like talking in between
That's
and
true.
like kind of messing around in between. So maybe yeah, yeah. But I would say total time maybe I felt like it was like 6 hours, right?
Yeah,
6 hours.
I think that's pretty good.
But that's accurate. Yeah.
In your regular pieces that you do normally,
Yes.
how often or how long do you
Oh, I take a
take
very long time
one?
in my pieces. I'm a very slow, meticulous person.
Mm.
I'm the turtle to the hare to many artists. So I think like a full blown piece.
Mm.
Um, if I'm honest, nowadays it's a bit faster. It only takes me like 2 weeks.
Mm.
In the past, I would take like a month or a month and a half on some pieces.
Oh wow.
But I also have a full time job, so I sort of do art on the side. That's sort of taken into account. So maybe half the time is like actually spent on artwork.
Oh yeah. All right, I've got the questions up. So, let us begin. Would you rather eat a key slime pudding or a forest cake?
Oh, is that a would you rather? I would eat both. Like this is not even a deal breaker. Any of them is fine, honestly.
See,
If
all
I
of
was
the
stuck on a desert
above.
island, like both are amazing options. Key slime pudding or forest cake. Well, key slime pudding, that seems like it might be made from slimes as like one of the ingredients. I don't condone genocide of
Yep.
the slime species. I'm a slime lover. So it would have to be the forest cake for me.
Wise choice. You're gonna not be cancelled by
Yes.
all the
Plus, I get the buff from the forest cake. I need those gains. I need those gains. Like my back is starting to hurt. I kind of need that physical boost in order to sit in my chair all day
Yeah,
and draw.
you're getting old now.
Yes,
It's not the same
yes, yes, yes.
anymore. Okay, next question. Would you rather be one off lethal and Luxemzander heals back to zero, or finding out all your dungeon guides were in the bottom 20 cards of your deck?
Hmm. Dungeon guide because I don't play level 3 deck. So if all my dungeon guides are at the bottom, it's like I'm playing a 56 card deck, and that's actually better for me.
Oh,
I would prefer
you prefer that.
that.
Okay. The next question is: would you rather draw all advanced elements in your starting hand versus having Nico mill you for 46 cards?
um, starting Sorry, all advanced elements starting hand or Nico Milieu.
Mm.
Um, well, if you have all advanced elements, it's like unplayable. But also having Nico Milieu for how many cards?
46. So, like, three quarters
46?
of your deck.
There's still a chance. There's still a chance if that happens. Okay, there's still a chance. We're gonna clap back. The next hand, we're gonna clap back when that happens. Don't worry. I play aggro Xander. You only need 12 cards to win. You only need 6 cards to win. It's
That's so
easy.
true. That's
She's
so
done. She's
true.
cooked. She's cooked.
She
Next turn,
gonna
Rending Flames. It's GG. It's over.
bow. All right, so your answer is Nico.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the next question is: would you rather 1v1 a limitless slime with 6 buff counters, or be attacked by 100 woodland squirrels?
Ooh, 6 buff counters. That's like nothing though. 6 buff counters. 100 woodland squirrels.
Mm.
Hmm. Well, if I had Resolute Stand in hand, I would prefer the squirrels probably.
What if you
Um.
didn't have Resolute? What if you had to like take them one by one, just by yourself, you with nothing else?
Ooh, I'm just gonna get bodied by the slime or the squirrels. You know, I think ooh, it's gonna be kind of hard taking 100 hits. That's like 100 health. Pretty overkill. Um, if I had no defensive option, maybe I would just prefer the slime. It seems like less damage. Just six versus 100. Now I'm not a mathematician, but I think that is a much smaller number than 100.
But it's so buff and menacing. That doesn't change your answer, does it? Nope.
It's,
Fair
no, no, it's still less damage overall. You know,
enough.
if you add it up, I think the squirrels, it's gonna be like, they're constantly just gonna pepper in, throw acorns. That's too much harassment. 100 of them, I can't take that. I
Couldn't
can't
do
take
that.
that.
Fair enough.
I'd I'd rather just like torture. I would rather just die right away to this lion.
Oh, you want it to be a one and done, not a prolonged death experience.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So then the next one, then the final question is,
exactly.
who would win? You or an SP1 Embertail squirrel? Do you remember what they look like?
Um, like like how big are these squirrels actually? Like if you are they like regular squirrels? Oh, SP1.
SP1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is kind of
It's really
buff though. That
blurry.
thing's kind of yeah, low
No.
key. That thing's kind of scary. What the heck? It's got big biceps. Guys, I'm just a wimpy old guy. I'm just a wimpy old artist. The most I can lift is a pen every day. I don't think I can take that squirrel. That thing looks like it's been lifting. It's been on some advanced whey powder. Like honestly,
It's
if
way
I take a
powder.
hit from that, it might be over for me.
I think so.
You know, all it takes is like one crack to the neck. I'm done. I'm not taking my chances. I think the squirrel would win.
So far, everybody's decided that the Embertail squirrel would be the winner. It's on a 2-0 win streak right now. One against you and one against Kani
Mm.
so far. So, who will be the champion
Oh
over
my
the Embertail
goodness.
squirrel in future interviews? We'll have to find out. No, thank you so much for all your very in depth explanations and interesting insights. And also, thank you so much
Mm.
for joining us in creating something new, a new like piece of fan art, which is a very interesting concept as well. And did you have anything you wanted to say?
Um. Not much. Just thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, Choco, for hosting the interview and doing these sort of art talks. I think this is I guess, type of content that is a little bit different than the regular card game content. But I hope people tuning in as just like regular players, you found it enjoyable and you found it a little bit entertaining, and maybe you learned a little bit about art that sort of piqued your interest. So, yeah, just thank you for anyone tuning in. Thank you for your time, and thank you for hosting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful guest. And yeah, well, I'll see you guys in the next interview with a new guest. So stay tuned and don't forget that if you ever want to start creating stuff, drawing or anything, like nothing's stopping you. Yeah, and always post it online. We want to see. We want to see all your Grand Archive fan art.
Pick up that pencil now
Listen to him.
and start drawing.
He knows. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.